Operating Officer of Eagle Logistics, who has been there with the company since its inception.
Eagle Logistics Colombo Private Limited was started in the year 2005 with the support of CL Synergy Private Limited and the individual Mr. Asanga Weerackody. Mr. Weerackody started this venture when he was a young man, and today he is a successful businessman in the industry. He is a person who succeeded by experience, and also he believes in this strategy yet. But giving it a start is handled in a different way. He prefers to give opportunities to school leavers. This strategy has worked out successfully, and today the company has over 100 staff, and out of which the majority are young. Even I started my career at Eagle 12 years ago as a school leaver. Today I am the Chief Operating Officer of the company, and it was all made possible because Mr. Weerackody thought that he could make it possible. Mr. Weerackody named this company's slogan as Think Different, and all these years he has thought different, and he has made it all a reality with a difference. Not only Mr. Weerackody became successful in his career, but he also made hundreds of other people and hundreds of other lives successful by being a role model.
Hello everyone. Today we are here with Mr. Asanga Weerackody, who is a well-known businessman and also the Managing Director of Eagle Logistics Colombo Private Limited. Mr. Weerackody has proved himself as an innovative leader and also successful individual in Sri Lanka. Can you let us know about your background from childhood and how you became to this position?
My childhood, I was a very silent person. I'm still a silent person. I was just talking about childhood because when it comes to achievements, it's zero. Probably the distance that I was traveling to the school and to home, that could be one of the main reasons. And but I was mischievous. Like my parents used to tell me that I'm a real mischievous character because I was heavily involved with quite a lot of electronic stuff and a lot of creativity involved even in my childhood. And this is totally different for me, and this was one of the dreams that I had. It's not about freight forwarding, but it's about working in working in a corporate environment. It was one of the dreams that I had. And so just after school, I was looking for a job. That was not a career at that time, just a job. So you have to get some sort of finance help. So managed to found a job at the beginning in a different industry at all. And even if you look at my childhood sports background is zero, because I had never done any sports at my school, and I was never a prefect or never a leadership, so there was nothing in my childhood. It was just I would say just a zero level.
You started your career as a junior sales executive at UTI and then moved to Schenker International, which were both logistic-related companies. What motivated you to start your own logistics company rather than progressing through the conventional career ladder?
I still feel I still go on with my career path, and it just became a business. It's a different scenario. But even when I worked as an employee 26 years ago, I think what I did at that time, I still do it at this level. And I still feel this is my career and I have a long way to go, although I'm almost hitting mid-age. And so I still don't feel it's a business as such. I still feel it's just this is my path for my career. So there's no big difference between working as an employee or working as an employer now. I don't see any difference between these two.
Was there anyone who had a tremendous influence on you, like a person who you wanted to be?
Yes, I do have a person for a very, very long time, but unfortunately recently he had to move out. He's not a person from the corporate world, but he's a person from the sports world. And his name is Asanga Arsene Wenger is a football coach, because football is my sport and that's my passion, I would say, more than a sport. And he is basically I followed him a lot when it comes to business, because his style of running multinational football club, a club called Arsenal, and how he ran this club for, I would say, almost about 15 years he ran that club, and the way he ran that club, I also adapted some of his systems into my career, I would say, my career and I never wanted to say it's business, it's business for this company, because his style is getting young players from different locations and build them up to a very high level. So that was his dream, and he did it. And Arsenal today is one of the famous and richest football clubs in Europe. So I always follows him most of the cases. So and plus football, the game of football also I follows a lot when it comes to building a company. So that is my mentor, I would say.
When you established Eagle Logistics back in 2005, what were the main challenges prevailing in the industry in terms of access to customers, market information and barrier entries?
I have no clue, to be very honest. It's just reason I start a company because I wanted to, I had my own way of doing certain things to the industry, and I wasn't given much chances at my previous employment. In fact, I have proposed a lot, but nothing worked out, and then I had my own way of doing things, so I just wanted to, to have the freedom more than anything to do the things the way I want. I always believed that the way I thought might be helpful for the industry and to the society, so that was the main reason to start up. And especially a time 2005 was the time we had the civil law in this country, and nobody really wanted to take any chance, and everybody wanted to stick with whatever they had. But I didn't feel much. Even I know from my families also had a lot of concerns because I was away overseas, and then I had to come back and join a company. So I had a lot of things, but I never felt that bad about it. Even right now, I sometimes I surprise myself how the hell I took the chance, and I just took it. And for some, I think probably could have been my fortunate, or it could be the way I worked things. It just worked it out, and there were no, I never had any barriers as such at that time.
This is a long question. The company has cooperating partnering with CL Synergy Limited since inception, and the relationship has been strong since then. But since it's a separate company, there would be differences when it comes to the doing business. How have you managed this challenge of mismatches, conflicts successfully?
Okay, CL Synergy is my partner, and in other words, I can say the parents of Eagle Logistics is myself and CL Synergy. So we had a kid. We got together and had a kid, and I think growth of that kid also depends on the relationship the parents have. So that I always believe, and from my side, it worked out very well. Like parents, we took care of the kid very well. So kid became person to the society. So that's what really happened, and that is from my side. From CL side also, I would say being a good partner. And one thing why being a good partner, CL Synergy also a growing company in the industry. So I didn't have much of a trouble from my partner, and they had their own way of doing things, and I had my way of doing things, and they respect the corporate governance very well, and that could be one of the other reasons. And when they appoint somebody to a certain position, and then they will not disturb that person. So that could be one of the, I think, one of the biggest thing in this joint venture. So it has been a very good partnership for the last 14 years now.
you to have any conflict?
Not major conflict as such. Probably we have our differences for sure, because every human to human has a lot of differences. But probably they respect my decisions, and they never had any decisions on this company so far. So they knew that I take the right decisions, and that could be the reason. And here and there, I mean, everyone has certain things, but we understood and we discussed, and we've been very open. And also, I think we never forget that we had a business relationship or business partnership, and it was not a friendship. We were friends long time ago, the owner of CS Synergy, but we never continued those friendships at this joint venture. So we had our business relationship, and we respect each other, and we knew when to talk, what to talk, and all those things at a very, very official level. Even right now, it's the same thing. We hardly meet each other. So we have this business relationship very well.
This is somewhat similar to the previous question I asked. In the current business context, how is the support from the government for the industry? Is it favorable enough in your view, or should it be further improved? And if it should be improved, how should it be improved?
I think I never blame any government in the past. I think it's our responsibility to show the government the right path. And our industry is a very, I would say, very traditional industry, and there were not much of changes during last 25 years. I remember the day I started this industry, and even right now, everything is the same. Then no major changes. And I think industry also has not shown much interest to the government on improvements. They've been just running as it is. So I don't blame government, and we have, as an industry, we have quite a lot of things to be done compared to any other industries, the airline or the shipping lines. The freight forwarding industry has just become being a broker for many, many years. So I don't really blame government, and I don't even think that the industry needs any support from the government right now. So everything is there.
We all know that Eagle Logistics was established as a group in 2017 with Eagle Express and Eagle Visible. So how did you manage to cope up your business with respect to technology, overcoming competition and decision making?
Technology, competition and decision making. Okay, if I may start with the technology. Technology is something that I always regret, because not taken much interest into technology during these 14 years. And there were not much of a need at that time also, but would have been if you have applied technology to the system, would have been in a different level, but we never did it. But now we have realized we should start getting into the technology side. So we were late in technology, to be very honest. And the second one is
Overcoming competition.
Competition is very, very easy, and competition, there is no competition for us at all, and I don't believe there is competition, because competition starts when you copy or when you do somebody else do. So during this 14 years, we have had a lot of creativity in the market. And the creativity was done only by us at the first level, and of course there were quite a lot of followers. So we compete the competition through the creativity. So we always create something new to the market, nobody have it. We start doing it, so we become the pioneer in that particular product. So then competitors will follow us. So we never wanted to follow competitors. And I know quite a lot of times people say, why don't we do this, and this company is doing that, I don't know, my management team always says, no, let's not do that. We will do something else. We will do something new to the market. So that was the way that we really compete with our competition. The third one.
Adding to that, were there any close competitors?
So far, for me, no. Probably, I always tell my management, my team, don't watch what others are doing, just do what we are supposed to do. And so if you keep on watching what others are doing, then you are distracted. You don't go the way that you really want to go. So therefore, we don't really see competition so far. We here and there we find the competitors are getting into our areas of our business, but in a very small scale. So we are so far managing with the competition.
So this is about your leadership actually. People management is a key aspect for any leader. What kind of a leadership style you use when dealing with your employees?
What kind of leadership? I follow a leadership of a captain in a football team. Or I wouldn't say it's football, although football is my sport. I say in a group team or in a team, football or cricket or whatever. Leader is similar to a captain. Leader also should be able to perform while your team also performs. So if you are not performing by yourself and if you don't contribute to your team, and you can't expect your teammates also to perform or to contribute. So I always believe the sport and the leadership would be the same. Because most of the cases people think when you are a leader, you are not a captain. So captain and a leader would be the similar thing. So I always follow a sport when it comes to leadership.
So how do you influence your subordinates or followers to follow your vision and your strategies?
Follow my vision and strategies. Okay, good questions. How do I influence? Probably it's very difficult to prove myself at the beginning. So if I tell them, okay, we'll do this, how do they follow that, or how do they do that? That's what your question is. Okay, it's not. It's like our policy of recruitment. I would say subordinates and the employees would be the same, right? For me, okay. And how employees follow my strategies and how do they believe in my strategies or something like that. Okay. So our recruitment policy, I would say, that's where it starts from. Our recruitment policy is for the last 14 years we don't recruit people from the industry. We don't recruit people from the competitors. So we basically it's homegrown staff. So we get them just after their education, we get them and then we start feeding and growing them in the company. So then I believe that's the best way any company, even right now, because then they will always believe in yourself because you are the first person to offer them employment. So then they start believing in you. And then they believe my strategies, then they believe everything. So then we all go to one direction. And so when you go to one direction, so far 90% of the times we have succeeded, and probably 10% we have failed. But that 90% is more than enough for a company to run. So that's how that's how we got our people to believe in my strategies and my path.
So from junior to senior positions, it's the homegrown staff.
Homegrown staff, I think we have about 120 or 130 staff, and even my second in command, COO, she's just an assistant, joined the company 13 years ago. So she's a CEO, and even if you take the next layer, even general managers, all just after school joined this company. So I would say all 100 out of 140, 120 whatever, everybody is homegrown.
There are so many teams in your company. So how do you see the importance of an employee as an individual, any employee?
It's like a member in the team, member in your cricket team or member in your football team. Everybody plays a major role. Everyone's role is very important to the company, and I can't say he's not good. Probably there could be ones with weaknesses, then one with strength. So I should know as a leader how to place them, how to have it at the right position. So it's a similar to that. So if you need the whole team to win a match, something like that.
What makes you or what values sets you apart from other leaders, or in other words, what makes you a unique leader?
Makes me to be unique. Maybe our logo. Our logo says think different, and I don't want to be a copy of somebody else, to be very honest, and not because I want to become a totally different person. That could be only way up. You have to have your own way of doing things, and that could be. I mean, that is what I believe in, and I'm not quite sure how to answer that question. So, unique person would be much better. You know, I don't want probably my size or my appearance. I know there is I face a major crisis most of the time, and whenever somebody sees me, they will ask, "Who's the MD of your company?" And so, the levels that I have to go to. So, I don't want to become just another COO or a traditional MD with a big pot and old looking. So I just want to become a unique person. That's all.
In your opinion, what specific ethical behaviors are required by a leader?
I think first thing is discipline, punctuality. Like a normal employee, you also should have all those. If you can have your employees to have all these things, as a leader, your leader also should have it. And if you direct somebody to do something, and if you are not doing it, then you can't be a leader. First, yourself, you will have to do it and show it to your subordinate, so that the subordinate will follow. So I think the basic employers, I would say basic employees, things that they should do, a leader also should do. That's the only way you can become a leader. Obviously, I know. I mean, you certain times you always have to remember that you have a bigger picture to see than your employee. So always you have to come back and see the whole picture, and then go back to that particular point and get that work done. So there could be a lot of movements up and down. So as a leader, that could be the only way you can have the leadership.
With a rapidly changing business environment, change management is a crucial aspect. And as a business leader, it's your responsibility to guide your team through to the end result and help the team to buy in the new concept and also enable a smooth transition. So, we would like to know how you do change management in such situations, and also if you can share a bit of a story where you managed change successfully at Eagle Logistics.
Okay, now if I'm in the front seat, that's what you say. So if I'm in the front seat, there are quite a lot of passengers in the bus. So what direction that I should go, and how do you change my direction? These are the questions that you raise. So first I should do is, I should sit in the front seat. So in my industry, what exactly mean you're sitting in the front seat is not you are in a big cubicle and getting reports and make decisions. So that is not exactly the front seat. So our industry front seat is you basically be at the customer's level. So first, I'm a sales guy. I'm still a sales guy. I think I do sales visit more than my sales team does it. So I keep visiting customers. Why I keep visiting customers? To see the path and what path that I should take this bus. So I keep visiting customers, and I know when there's market change before my salesperson comes and tells me. And some of the visits that I make is, it's funny, and I visit every type of customer. I don't, if a salesperson comes and say, okay, can we go to this customer? Even I have to cancel a board meeting, I go and meet the customer, because I know that is more important than having the board meeting, and board meetings can be always postponed, but a customer visit cannot postpone. So I always be at the front. So when I be at the front, I see what changes that you should make, what routes that your bus size should take. So that's how I look at the changes. And one of the, you asked for an example. Now, our industry, I would say very recently we came up with a new software. And why do we come with a new software? Because we find the customer side, where customer works on his shipping, I would say. It's logistics. If logistics works, customers does it manually, although customer has their own ERP, like all this Oracle, SAP. But this particular area, which is shipping, is still customer does it manual basis. So I realize it many times because whenever I meet customers' problems, issues, when I categorize it, I realize why they know not much of technology in that particular area. No forwarder or no IT company has really recognized the need. So then we thought, why not we come up with some sort of solutions, and we tied up with a software company. We built up a software, and which is already launched, and we will be doing our pilot projects with some of the big companies. So that was one of the new thing to the market, and it's going to be a brand new, unique product to the market. So that could be our future. Likewise, even 7 years ago, we started basically again being in the front seat and you seeing what is happening in the market. We realized customer has a lack of knowledge in logistics. So then we started offering logistics service, not just like freight forwarding, where we have our staff sits in customers' premises and handle the logistics for customer. So now we became we became the only freight company in Sri Lanka to run that side of operation. We run for almost 14 companies now. Even companies like Unilever, Nestle, Fonterra, all those big companies, their total logistics is handled by our staff, sits at their premises. So it's a new thing in the market, and that again I see it because I was in the front seat and I meet these customers on a very often basis. So being a salesman, I would say the ideal way to face changes in the market.
Not all the employees will be willing to buy in the new concept that you will be proposing. So in such case, how do you convince them go with that?
There are two ways. You make a product, then you go to a customer and say, I have a product, why don't you take this? But in our case, we go to the customer first, find what exact product they need, and then we make the product. So then they already need in the market. So this is what I say is that we will not follow somebody else. We will not follow a competitor. A competitor would have done it at the first time. Then what we do is we find it at the customer. Okay, we also have a product like what your company is offering. No, we have never gone into that side of the situation. Other than our normal traditional freight forwarding business, yes, when we go to a customer will say, yes, I already have this service. Then we try to propose. But in most of our new innovations, customer has a need already. So we understood the need first, and then we make the product and then we take to the customer.
Do you see yourself as a leader who promotes entrepreneurship within the organization? Or in other words, how do you encourage entrepreneurship?
Good question. At the beginning, I was not. Then later, no, actually, I trained my staff to become entrepreneur for sure, because they join as assistant, then from assistant to executive, from an executive to a manager, to a general manager to a director, whatever. I trained them to become entrepreneur because still I get involved with my training and development a lot. Every employee join this company, every fresh person from the school level join this company. Probably the first training they will go through with me. I take care of a couple of the trainings such as leadership, corporate communication. Quite a lot of initial training is done by myself, and from that time until they become a top level, I keep on talking to them to become a leader. More than entrepreneur, become a leader. So I always teach them quite a lot of leadership things, and it has proved a lot because I think now during these 14 years there are about 4-5 already left the company and already started freight forwarding companies who joined this company as assistant. So I believe yes, I have done that.
I think this is an easy question for you. Describe Asanga Weerackody in one word.
Loyal employee, I would say.
Inspired.
For you to become a leader in a corporate entity. Of course, if it's a business, it's fine. It's a totally different. If you want to become a leader in a corporate entity, you need to become a good loyal employee first. If you are not a loyal employee, then you don't show the right path to your employees. So I always believe to become a loyal employee is the best thing to do. And why I would say give you more detail into it because I hold a position in this company. I could be the owner, but still I hold a position which can replaced by another person. So the position of managing director is not belongs to me, it belongs to the company. So if I am holding that position, first thing is managing director, again an employee of a company. So then I have to become a good employee to hold that position. So that I always believe myself is a good employee.
This is another interesting question. If you had not become a businessman, what would you have become?
Very, very easy question for me. I would have loved to play for a football club in Europe.
And finally, let me ask you, what kind of advice you would like to give to young leaders or young people who aspire to become great business leaders like you?
Business leaders and leaders are two different words, I always feel. This is something that I mean every day I do this, talking to young people and getting them to become good leaders. There is no one advice as such. I always tell them something, okay, there is something that I always tell them. I tell them, you have your dream, you have your goals, you have your short-term goals, long-term goals. But you never have a goal to reach finance. If you go behind finance, it's very difficult to catch finance. I would say money. If you go behind money, it's very difficult to hold money. You will never be able to hold money. You go behind something that you like, your passion or something you like, then what happens? Money comes behind you. Then there will be a period where money even can't, hold you back. Because you will not even care about it. So I always tell them, do that. You make a change with that. And a young guy join a company, first thing, what's the salary? Okay, how much am I going to get? Okay, this is am I going to change my job to something else? This is what they think of. And even somebody studying it, okay, I'm going to be in this position and then I'm going to draw this type of salary. These are the things that young people has in their mind. Probably I also would have had it, to be very honest, at the beginning, but for some reason I didn't have any other trade to do. I got into shipping, then I thought, okay, there is no anything else, no any other options for me at that time. So I gave my best. Then I realized, okay, when I give my best, there is something else coming behind me. So I always tell the young people, if you want to become a leader, don't ever think of finance early. Think of your dreams, go for it, and the finance will always follow. So that's the advice I always give.
Thank you for giving your precious time. Actually, we learned a lot and it was very informative. So I want to wish you very successful future for you. Thank you.